Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sari and these are my knitting podcast videos. I filmed a longer episode last week and I showed you almost everything I had on my needles. So obviously it's been just a week since my last video and I haven't been knitting that much. So my previous video was about everything that I knitted over my Christmas holiday and the beginning of January. And like I said, it's only been a week since my previous video. So I've been mainly working on 3 things and I will show them to you in today's video. And first of all, in my previous video I was still knitting my Meredith Grey pullover. So I started this already back in, I think it was in November, because I had this on my needles when I was in Portland for Sacred Sheep. So I was already knitting that back then. So it's been maybe at the end of October actually already on my needles, and I made the whole yoke until separating the sleeves, and then I made the sleeves so that I could write the pattern and have it test knitted, and then I was carried away with everything else I had on my needles and new cast on then, and you know, so it was left waiting. I had both sleeves done and about this much of the body, so I just had to finish the body and do the hem ribbing and so on for the pattern release. So I released this pattern yesterday and there's a little discount until Monday over my Ravelry shop as well as on my Shopify shop on sarinodl.com, so you don't need any discount code for this sweater or the Apollonis pullover that I will soon show you. So I released 2 new patterns yesterday. So they are both minus 20% off until the end of Monday, that is Helsinki time, because I'm based in Helsinki. But anyway, I will link everything below this video like I always do. So all the pattern names, links to the patterns, yarn names, colorway names, everything I mentioned are in the description section below this video, so you can easily check them out from there. So this is the Meredith Grey pullover and I got this yarn already back in August. I was visiting a Flock Fiber Festival in Seattle in August, and the Garcons were there vending and I found this yarn at their booth. So this is their British DK base and the colorway was called Meredith Grey. So the Meredith Grey pullover was actually the working title. I talked about this in my previous videos, but if you're new to my channel, sometimes I already have an idea for the name when I cast on, and sometimes the name comes later, like when I start to see how the design looks like. I might even change the name later on if I feel that something else is more appropriate for that design, or if it kind of like reminds me of something special. So the working title for this one was the Meredith Grey pullover, because the yarn was called Meredith Grey, or the colorway was called Meredith Grey. So I often give, like, the working title is often either the yarn name or the colorway name, so that it just kind of like reminds me when I draw the charts and I write the pattern, which pattern these charts belong to when I'm searching for them later on. So if it's just like Untitled Project 1 or 2 and 3, then I get totally confused. So that's why I often use the colorway name, so that reminds me. So this is the Meredith Grey pullover because the colorway was called Meredith Grey. And then I really like that name. I think Grey's Anatomy is such a great knitting show. There are, first of all, so many seasons, so you can just binge watch it forever. Also, the storylines aren't usually very complicated, so even though you don't follow it like 100% knitting and then watching every now and then knitting again, nothing major happens per episode. Of course there's like some storylines that continue and like the personal relationships with the main characters change from episode to episode, but anyway, nothing major happens so that you have to like follow it all the time. So that's why I think it's such a great show for knitting, watching while knitting. So that's why I called it Meredith Grey. One of the reasons also is because I got the yarn from Seattle, and if you have ever watched Grey's Anatomy, you know that it happens in Seattle. There's like this what's the word? Imaginary hospital called Seattle Grey's, and everything happens over there. So this is the Meredith Grey pullover, and as you can see, it has a raglan shaping over here. It has kind of like this little 4 cable pattern over the raglans, and then there's a lace pattern that goes on the front. The same pattern is on the sleeves, and I'll show you the back. There's also lace on the back. So this, I wouldn't rate this kind of like, it's not a beginner pattern if you are comfortable knitting lace, because until you join the front neck, you're going to work the back neck and beginning of the raglans back and forth, so it's going to be flat, and then only after you join the front neck, then it's everything else is in the round. So you will need to be able to work lace patterns also on the wrong side, because the kind of like this lace pattern happens every row, so you have to do the lace also on the back side for the beginning of the pattern until joining the neck. So I wouldn't rate it as a beginner pattern, but if you have worked lace and you know how to work from charts, then you're good to go. There's nothing really complicated happening. Once you get into the pattern, it starts to become quite intuitive. So there's like this pattern that always goes like this, and once you get hang of it, then it's like I said, it's quite intuitive once you get into the rhythm. And I had my sample knitter Jessica make me another version of this same sweater. I haven't folded the neck yet, because I was thinking that I might want to have it as a funnel neck. So she knitted the same pattern for me in a light colorway, so you can see how different it looks like when I just changed the color. So this one is with Knitting for Olives Merino and soft silk mohair. The colorway was called Limestone, so it was a new color. It's slightly greenish, grayish, kind of like off-white color. It's beautiful, and like I said, I haven't decided what to do with the neck yet, so I might want to leave it like it's now, like a funnel neck, or another option is to fold it like this one. So this is a very easy modification if you want to modify your necks for pattern. So either you can make it shorter and do it without the fold, so do a bind off over here, or you can do the fold like it's in the pattern, or if you want a funnel neck, just work it longer, leave it unfolded, or if you want to do a turtleneck, just keep going until you get a full turtleneck. So here you can see the raglan shaping, and then there's a seed stitch over here on the sides, and the lace pattern. I think the lace pattern might show a bit better on this lighter sweater, whereas this one kind of like need to have the light catching for you to see the pattern well. I absolutely love both of these. I can't decide which version I prefer. I'm so happy both of them are mine, so I can wear them both and I don't have to decide which one to do. But this is the Meredith Grey pullover. I will link the Ravelry link as well as the Shopify link below this video, and there's a minus 20% discount until Monday, so that is February 3rd and end of the day Helsinki time. And the second pattern that I just released is the Apollonis pullover. So if you want to see more of this, check out my previous video. I was wearing this in the video, so I started the video wearing the Vivi pullover, and then somewhere in the middle of the video I changed into this one. So the Apollonis pullover was originally released as a bulky weight version in my book Softly Timeless. Since I have my book actually over here. Over here I have a box of books next to me, so this is like totally new book. Nobody has touched this before me, so it's brand new. But anyway, this is my book, and it came out a bit over a year ago, and the Apollonis pullover was originally in this one, but like I said, it was a bulky weight sweater, so I wanted to do a bit more lightweight version of it, so I used a fingering weight yarn and mohair for this one. So this is Knitting for Olives Merino and silk mohair. They are both in the colorway Bordeaux, and I just released the pattern. So all the details and shaping and so on is exactly like the one in the book, but this all the stitch counts and everything has been reworked for the lighter weight yarn, and also it has a tighter gauge than the one in the book. But yeah, it has a circular yoke. You start it here at the neckband. There's a couple of rows of stockinette stitch first, so the neck starts to roll and then changes into ribbing, and then very easy increases over the yoke. It has a bit of short row shaping both for the back neck and also for the back lower on. So it makes, you can see that the front is a bit shorter compared to the back. So it's one of my favorite things to wear. I absolutely love this color. I think it looks amazing on me. So I'm really into burgundy at the moment, and I wore this a lot over my holiday. And also after that. So the Apollonis light pullover is also available now on Ravelry and on Shopify, and it also has the same 20% discount if you want to take advantage of that. The sleeves are straight, and then there's like this steep decrease here before the cuffs, so you can see the decrease line over there. So it creates this really nice shape for the sleeve, which I really like. It's really nice to wear because the sleeves are loose, but then the cuffs aren't too loose. So it's very relaxed. So the Apollonis light pullover and the Meredith Grey pullover, those were the new patterns that I released. So like I said, I was working quite a lot on this sweater to get it ready for the release. Other things that I have been knitting this week, this is the Vivi cardigan that I showed to you in my previous video. I finished the body, so you can see here's the bottom hem, and I made a bottom band for the first side. So I made a double knitted bottom band. You can see it here. There's a lot of yarn ends that I haven't woven in, and here you can see the buttonholes. So I should make a similar one for the other side, and then the neckband, and of course it needs sleeves. So this is the Vivi pullover, Vivi cardigan. So I had the Vivi pullover, just show it to you just a second. I will go and get it. So this is the Vivi pullover, and this pattern is already available, so you can find it on Ravelry and in my web shop. And this was a new pattern release for January as well, and you can see it here. So this Vivi cardigan is exactly the same except of course it's a cardigan and not a pullover, but it has exactly the same cable pattern, especially you can see it on the back. So here's the back of the Vivi pullover and the back of the cardigan. So exactly the same cables on both of them, and here you can also see the difference. Just changing the color makes the same as I showed with the Meredith Grey pullover. So if you have it in a light or a dark colorway, it looks quite different. But yeah, this is the Vivi cardigan, and I was hoping to get it ready for test knitting this week, but the Meredith Grey pullover took more of my time. And I also talked about this in my previous video. I'm working on my next book, and it's at the phase where I have a couple of test knits still going on, but most of the patterns are ready and all the other text that I'm going to have in the book are ready. So I have been trying to prepare everything so that it's ready for proofreading, and then for the layout, and I can't wait to share more about that with you, but I'm still keeping it a bit of a secret for the next month or so, and after that I will start to talk a bit more about that and show you what I have been doing for the past year behind the scenes. But yeah, that has taken quite a lot of my mental capacity this weekend. It's something that you really have to think about and kind of like get into it, and have to have the time to like really dig deep into it. So I haven't had that much time to knit other things than this one. So I made the hem ribbing and the first bottom band for the Vivi pullover cardigan this week. And I told you that I casted on a new simple sweater last week, and this has been kind of like one of the main things that I've been knitting this week. I have been craving something that I don't have to think so much about, so I just cast it on a very basic raglan sweater, so nothing extra going on over here. Just separated the sleeves, and now it's just stockinette stitch for the body and the sleeves, so kind of like don't really have to think about anything anymore. And this was the one that I said that it's a bit more brighter than what I usually go for, but I'm super excited to be knitting with this. First of all, the yarn is so soft. It's Aimée's Kumo and Merino singles. They're both in the Ponyo and Sosuke colorway. You can see it here, and it's been so fun to see how the colors come together while I knit them. And I kind of like the places where the colors have started to pool a bit more, so you can see this like green, more green over here. So I really like that effect. I know some people don't like pooling, but for this project I really like it and kind of like welcome it. So also over here there's a bit more like turquoise spot over here, and I'm going to take this with me. I'm going to Canada for grocery calls and a knit socials retreat next weekend, but I'm already traveling on Monday because it takes me 17 hours to get from Helsinki to Calgary, and there's a 9-hour time difference, so I will be going a couple of days early to kind of like sleep the worst jet lag and travel fatigue off. And I also want to go and check out Calgary's yarn shops, and then we'll go to Canmore for the retreat. So I'm super excited about that. And I was thinking about taking this sweater with me for the retreat, so I can sit and talk with people and just knit stockinette stitch, so I don't have to count anything or look at charts or think about anything. So this is going to be one of the projects that I'm taking with me. I'm still hoping to finish this one before I leave. So I think it's doable because I only have the color work for the cuff and the ribbing for the cuff, and then the rest of the body for this sweater. So this is the Northern Lights pullover, and you can see it here, and I really want to take this with me to Canada because I think this is going to be super warm. They have forecasted very cold weather for Canada. So this is the first sleeve, and you can see there's this little colorwork pattern, and on the second sleeve I'm now at the point where I could start the colorwork and then the cuff. And for the body I'm just going to make it in one color. First of all, I don't have enough of the contrasting color to do anything for the hem, and also I just want to kind of like tone it down a bit. It's already very colorful, very dramatic, so I think just like single color for the body will keep it a bit more minimalistic and me. So I'm hoping to finish this one. It's quite quick to knit with this yarn. It's like kind of like heavy DK. It's here. So this is Farmer's Daughter Fibers. It's Pishcone, and I have Dreams to Remember is the colorway name or something like that. It's a really nice navy blue. I love it. And the colorway for this one, it's Spin Cycles Dream State, and the colorway is called Overshadow. And I was first a bit afraid whether I have enough contrast with my kind of like this main yarn and this contrasting color, but I think the end result is really good, and you can see that it looks really nice. So it's called Northern Lights because the colors remind me of the auroras. So I'm hoping, like I said, I'm hoping to finish this one. So I'm going to be working with this sweater for the rest of the weekend to get it done, so that I can wear it in Canada when it's going to be very cold over there. So those were the things that I have been knitting this week, and I wanted to show you what I'm going to take with me to Canada for my travel projects. I already showed these yarns to you in my previous video. So this is Explorer Knits Rockies DK, so because the retreat is like a Rockies retreat, I thought that this yarn is perfect for the retreat. So I usually like to cast on something new when I travel, so it's kind of like my travel project. It's kind of like a memory souvenir from that trip. So this is going to be another Vivi project, so not a Vivi sweater or a Vivi cardigan, but it's also going to be a Vivi sweater, but not the one that I showed you already, but I want to do one with a V-neck, so I think this one is going to be really great for that. And I also want to do a Vivi without mohair, so this is a DK weight yarn, so I think it will be good for substituting fingering weight yarn and mohair, and I think it's going to have a really good stitch definition, so all these cables and twisted stitches will be gorgeous with this yarn. So this is the Sequim colorway, and I bought this last summer at Flock Fiber Festival. And another yarn that I'm taking with me is the Wandering Flock. So this is the 100% superwash extra fine Merino DK weight base, and the colorway is called Beach Party. And this is how it looks like when it's caked up. So it has kind of like this neutral, kind of a grayish beige base, and then it has little spots of pink and purple and a bit of orange also here and there. So I'm going to do a cable pullover with this one. I already have all the charts drawn for that one, so those are going to be my travel projects. And I'll just quickly grab one more yarn from here next to me. So one more thing that I was planning to take with me to Canada was, I don't know if you remember my rainy day tee from last summer. So it was the kind of like basic raglan stockinette stitch t-shirt with a simple cable pattern over the raglans. And I have had my sample knitter work on me for a rainy day sweater, and then I'm going to do a rainy day cardigan. And these are the yarns that I picked for the cardigan version, and I'm going to take this with me as well to Canada to kind of like cast on. I think it's first of all, especially because I have long flights, that's kind of like me time. Nobody's going to interrupt me. I can work on my own projects. Also, if I take a sweater project that I have already started, then it takes a lot of room in my bag. So if I start a new one, then I have kind of like it's kind of like a single skein project at that point, so it doesn't take that much space in my bag, and it's kind of like easy to take with me and carry around. And the pattern for the rainy day already exists. The only modification for the cardigan I have to do is to the bottom band and kind of like open it up, but other than that I don't really have to design anything or calculate anything for the raglans and so on, because that already exists because of the tee. So I picked up Knitting for Olives Merino, and this is Filcolana Tilia. This is the colorway 328, so it's silk mohair, and this one is called Poppy Bloom. So this is going to be my rainy day cardigan. So another thing that I want to take with me. And as you can see, one of my plans for 2025 was to use more color, and the second one was to use do more cardigans, and the third one was to use yarns from my stash. So both of these were stashed yarns. This was new, so I just bought this for this trip. So, but let's not tell that to anyone. So those are going to be my travel projects. So the Vivi V-neck and the new cable sweater and rainy day cardigan, as well as this. But for the Vivi cardigan, I was talking about wanting to do the call for test knitters this week, but since I'm going to Canada next week, I think the call for test knits is going to come after I come home from Canada. So not next week, but the week after that. And I call for my test knits on Instagram over my Instagram stories, and I also just joined Blue Sky, so if you don't want to use Instagram, then you can find me on Blue Sky as well, and I think I will also post the link to my test knits over there as well, so you can find it there. But that's everything I had for today. Thanks for watching, and if you like my videos, remember to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you after I get back from Canada, and I will then share all the news from there, and let's see if I have time to film a little bits and pieces so I can show you what it was like at the retreat. But yeah, see you then, bye!